Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to PM with Kim, y'all. A thankful and thriving Thursday evening to you. Welcome back to PM with Kim. Welcome back to my regulars who have circled back around this evening to sit with me for a few minutes. Excuse me, and welcome aboard to my people who are new on this journey. PM with Kim is my evening inspiration. It's my aha moments. It's the things that strike me during the day. Some of it has nothing to do with anything. It is just Kim's mind working the way Kim's mind does. I just hope that my messages are inspirational and that they leave you with something to think about, something to help you as you navigate life. So these are just Kim's thoughts. So thank you for coming back around. I pray that you have made it through traffic safely and that you are home beginning your wind down and woosah time, and that all is well in your mind, body, and spirit, and that you had a thankful and thriving Thursday, and that it was better than you had hoped it would be. So that is my prayer. I pray that all is well and that you are doing okay. No, doing great. And that you said thank you today. I hope you said thank you today. And my charge on Thursdays, sometimes I forget to tell you, but this evening, before you go to bed, think about 10 things you are thankful for and just verbalize them to God this evening. I guarantee you can come up with 10. And if you can't, then reevaluate and adjust accordingly because your vision, your heart posture is a little bit off, because we can all come up with at least 10 things that we're thankful for. So I hope you thrived today, and I hope today you were better today than you were yesterday. So I'm gonna try not to hold you. I'm gonna try not to hold you long. It's never Kim's intention to hold you long, but I always say, Holy Spirit, have your way. So I am going to share with you some Kim thoughts, and y'all that have been riding with me, sitting with me, listening to me for these months that I've been doing this know that how my mind works by now. Things come in my head. Kim thinks a certain way. I probably am different from most people you ever know, because that's what makes me me. But I was thinking, my sister Tanya and my sister friends, my village of ladies, we often talk about relationships and stuff. And I did the Ruth and Boaz video. I believe it was Monday evening, and I'm always on a love thing, y'all. I am, because that is my heart's desire. That is who I am, and so I'm always going to talk about it in one way, shape, or form. And so we were talking, my sister Tanya and I were talking not too long ago, and we had made an observation, and this is just Kim's thoughts and the thoughts of me and my girls as we chat. But we were saying that we know several men, personally, family, friends, co-workers, associates, so forth. Good men, really good men, decent men. But they have some of the least desirable women. And that was puzzling to us. We pondered that, and we ponder all the time. But these decent men have some women who are just, they ain't that, for lack of a better word, I use the word, and I shouldn't use this word as much, but it's fitting and it covers a whole thing. But some women who are trifling, you shouldn't call people names and stuff, but let's call a spade a spade. They don't cook, they don't clean, they don't have no desire to grow and to be better. Some of them have nasty attitudes, a hodgepodge of things. But these are the women who seem to get nice dudes. And me and my girls, we are like something special. Like, I ain't toot my own horn, but toot, like I'm, we great choices. And then you see these women with these decent men, and I'm like, what? So we ponder those things all the time. That's what we do. We ponder, like, what are we doing wrong? But then I have I've called it my litmus test, and I can't give you the whole thing, but the litmus test in, I think, chemistry or chemistry is this paper, and you put a solution on it, and if it turns a certain something, it, you know, whatever. And so people use that as metaphorically litmus tests to test out things to see if they're really accurate or not in certain circumstances and situations. So I have come up with Kim's litmus test for dating in the DMV. Now, District, Maryland, Virginia. This is my area. And I can only speak on behalf of me and my girls and my tribe of women and the women that I know and the black men that we have encountered. Because I can't speak on any other race of men because I don't date them. But I have sat in this thing for a while, and I've come up with my own theory. And so, guys, if you're listening, and I'm wrong, chime in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. If I'm right, give me a thumbs up. Say, you know what, Kim, you got it right. But I have come to understand that, and I grew up with brothers. Got 3 brothers, 3 stepbrothers, and a whole bunch of bonus brothers. So I've watched guys over the years. So I'm not an expert. I haven't done any scientific research on this, haven't done a thesis or anything, whatever. It's just Kim's observation. So here's my observation for the dating in the DMV for the black man. So here is the thing. The black man in the DMV, the single black man, I ain't talking about married men and whatever. I'm talking about single black men, because your married men shouldn't be out here running around anyway, but that's a whole nother conversation. I'm talking about single black men in the DMV. I'm going to throw a number out here. I'm using 15. There are 15 women to every one man. That's a low number. I believe it's more than that. But I'm going to cap it at 15, just for the sake of my theory, my Kim's Dating DMV litmus test. So pretty much that's a good number. 15 to 1. There's 15 single women to every one single man in this area. Okay, so we're going to go with 15. So here's Kim's thoughts, and they are not, I haven't done any research. This is just my heart, my mind, and this is just how I work. So this is my theory. And again, guys, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. If I'm right, you know, you probably ain't going to tell me I'm right. But nevertheless, so 15 to 1. So here's the deal. In this area, well, probably a lot of the areas, but in this area, men have choices. They got 15 women to choose from, and we don't. So here's the deal. I'm gonna break it down what those 15 women look like in my assessment on how relationships and how they work out with the men in the DMV here. It's just my opinion. Woman 1 through 11. The guys' choices 1 through 11, they thirsty. They're going to do whatever he wants. They're going to be at his beck and call when he wants. They ain't going to ruffle the waters. They're going to be whatever it is he needs them to be. They are his sport, his tune-up. Keeping it real. And for some of the 1 through 11, though, some of the 1 through 11 women, they don't mind being that because they got that going on with a whole bunch of other dudes. So 1 through 11 are thirsty. They ain't going to cause you no problem. They're going to be available when you need them. And they don't require much. They don't require much. And then you have number 12. Number 12 is interesting. She's not thirsty, but she's not your wife. She's a decent girl, lady. She's a decent lady. She don't nag. She got some standards. And she's a good placeholder for the time being. So the 12 is she's all right. She's one that he gonna call and they gonna hang out and they gonna have a good time. They connect and whatever else, and they, she all right. She don't require a whole lot, but she ain't no knockoff. And then 13 and 14 show up. And 12 takes a back seat. Because 13 and 14, if he could take 13 and 14 and make her one, then she'd have won. But what he doesn't understand is 13 and 14 is your 15. But 13 and 14 is the ones he entertained because he ain't ready for the wife, for the 15. So he's either 13 and 14. So 12, she may fall off, she might come back. But 13 and 14, those, if he could put the two together, because there's something about 13 that's right for him, and there's something about 14 that's right for him, and if he could put them all together, he would. But what he subconsciously doesn't acknowledge is that 13 and 14 is 15. But 13 and 14 will do because he ain't ready for 15, the wife. And so 13 and 14 could be interchangeable. They could be simultaneous, or they could be 13 could be on and 14 off, 14 on, 13 off. They back and forth, or they could be at the same time. And 13 and 14 is where he's going to spend the bulk of his energy, because they good. Like they got chemistry. They like each other. They laugh. They whatever. But 13 is not got something that 14 has, and 14 is not got something that 13 has, and so he's the two of them make his soul feel good. Like, you know what? Oh man, she's special. 13, she's this and this, and 14, she's this and this, and he teeters right there between 13 and 14. Because he ain't ready to commit to 15. Because 15 is the wife. 13 and 14 is what I hate that term, the wifey. I cannot stand that term. It is a disrespectful term, especially if you're married and you call your wife wifey. That is disrespectful. She is not your wifey. She is your wife. And wifey says, oh, you nice. I like you. I might even love you, but I ain't going to make you my wife. So for you 13s and 14s, like, oh, he called me wifey. Girl, sit down. Sit down somewhere and have two seats, because it's not a compliment. Because he ain't choosing you. Because 15 is the wife. You just wifey without the paperwork. And some guys will sit in the 13, 14 forever and coast down that highway and sail on and never look to 15. 15 is the wife. She's the one. But 15 loses a lot because she's overlooked, because he ain't ready, because he's still in 13, 14 mode. He ain't ready for 15. And so 15 loses a lot. However, when you pull God into the scenario, 15 is going to win. 15 is going to win when God says so, when God's hand is on it, when God is covering it and doing it. But if he's not God connected, then it's going to be like some rocky roads here between 13, 14, and 15. And so that's what I see. And it feels bleak, and it's just like, wow. I hear guys saying, yeah, I want me a nice woman. I want a nice woman. I hear my, male associates and colleagues and family members, and I want me a nice woman. No, do you really? Do you really? Because you got a lot to choose from. But you want a nice woman that is going to require you not to do any work, that's going to require you not to have to really be 10 toes down and in it committed? Or do you really want a nice woman? And so those are the wanderings and the wonderings of my head. And that's what I see. And and that's what we entertain in my tribe of sisters. And it's disheartening. But it's the reality. It's the reality, and the guys, pretty much they got the upper hand. We do, us 15s, because yes, I'm a 15. We do We have the power, but we only have the power when God is in it. And it has to be a twofold thing. He's got to be connected to God. You got to be connected to God, and then it's all beautiful and it's a well-oiled machine. But if you're not, then it's bleak. And I was talking about, like I said, the Ruth and the Boaz movie the other day, and just the whole Ruth and Boaz story from the Bible. And we have to be ready. You have to be in that mindset, in that heart, and that heart posture to be in the place to receive your Ruth or your Boaz. And quite honestly, a lot of us are not functioning as 15s. And I'm going to tell you real good. You can go back to my very first video that I posted. The heartbreak that saved my soul. And I am a 15, but I was a 15 functioning as a 14. Honestly, I was, until God allowed the heartbreak. Well, I was even before the heartbreak happened, but it was, about a year and a half before the heartbreak, I just got to a done spot and got tired of operating lower than I was. And I can't even, I'm not even going to attribute it to like, oh, it wasn't hardly anybody to choose from or whatever. I chose it. I chose to operate as a 14, knowing I was a 15. And so that ain't nobody's fault but mine. I ain't mad at him. But I had to get to a place. And what it was I was at that point, I was a 15, but I was unhealed 15, which means I was operating as a 14. And until I got into a mindset, until I got tired, and until I got really convicted and really knowing that Kim, this is not who you are. This is not, God has made you special. He has a special life designed for you. He has so many things in store for you, but you can't get to them if you're out of the will of God. And so the conviction set in, and then I started transforming my mind and my heart and getting back in alignment with where I have always been, and getting connected back up to God, and started doing my wilderness work. And that's where the evolution and the transformation started to come in, and the healing started, and then the heartbreak happened so that I could fully heal and fully walk into everything that God has in store for me. And I would tell myself, y'all, I would talk, when I, got tired and whatever, I would say, Kim, you are a diamond. Why are you functioning like a cubic zirconia? I would say that to myself. I would tell my girls that you have to get to a place. You got to get to a place of healing. You got to get to a place of doneness. You got to get to a place of being convicted. You got to get to a place of wanting to just be better. And I know that I've always had a special connection with God, and I always have known that I'm special. Not to make myself sound like but I've always known, and I've always known that He has something great for me, but I wasn't operating in that. And so I started it was a couple year process. I didn't just get to this point. It took some work. It took wilderness work. It took healing. It took addressing some of those issues that were deep down, trying to figure out the why of stuff. Why are you operating like this? Why are you doing this? And so I say to you, and I'm telling you my story so that, we're overcome by our testimony, so that we can stop minimizing ourselves. We can stop passing out discounts. We can stop allowing people to let us operate in unworthiness. And so you gotta do your work. And here's the deal. This is guys and girls, ladies. If you're the 15 and you're the Ruth and you're looking for your Boaz, you can't entertain bozos. If you are the queen and you're trying to get to your king, you cannot play with the pauper. Guys, if you're looking for your Ruth, you cannot entertain rah-rahs. Just ain't gonna happen. And if you want your queen, you're gonna have to stop playing with peasants. And that's where we have to be. We have to hold ourselves in a high regard. We have to stop accepting crumbs when we have the whole loaf, when we have the whole bakery. And that is where we have to be in our mindset in order for us to walk into those things that we desire, if that's what you desire, a godly relationship. And so despite the 1 through 15 analogy that I know is bleak for the tribe of women that I know in this area, I'm not holding that. I ain't holding that because I already know what God said. And so I'm using my sanctified imagination. God speaks to me, but he ain't said it like this, but this is way I heard it. Baby girl, adjust your crown, because you can't get to your king if your crown ain't straight. And so I did my work. And I adjusted my crown. And good God, she's back. She's back to her 15. Solid. And despite the 1 through 15 analogy, God said, adjust your crown, baby girl. Your king is coming. So, gentlemen, adjust your crown. Your queen is coming. Ladies, adjust your crown. Your king is coming. When you allow God to do it, and you allow yourself to roll up your sleeves and walk through that wilderness and do that work and heal and get whole and recognize your worth and understand that you are a diamond and not a Cupid's zirconia. And once you flip the script, guys, you're a diamond, not a Cupid's zirconia. Ladies, you are a diamond, not a Cupid's zirconia. And when we start walking in that, and we start really focusing in on what God wants us to do and be, and if that is the desire of your heart, you let it be known. God knows, and when he does it, he will do it big. And if you wait on him, your king will arrive, and it'll be better than you could ever have imagined. And when your queen arrives, it will be better than you could ever have imagined. But you cannot get to that place if you're not focused and healed and healing, evolving, becoming, and trying to do the will of God. And denying yourself, denying your flesh, renewing your mind, getting in the walk and the talk of God, and trusting and resting in his promises, and understand, just keep wearing that crown. Keep wearing that crown, and your king is going to show up with his, and yours going to be shiny and in place. His going to be shiny in place, and y'all going to do the doggone thing. If that is your desire. So despite the 1 through 15 analogy or litmus that I have entertained in my head, which I still believe is the case, it is not an end. It is not an end for those of us who are the Ruths, who want their Boaz. And it's not the end for those of you who are the Boazes who want your Ruth. We just got to walk in that posture and walk in what God says we have to do and let him do the work. And it's going to be great. So yes, I'm on this love thing. But that was my thoughts. And again, guys, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. And if I'm right and you're not ashamed to tell me I'm right, go for it. But those are just my thoughts. But we have to, if we want the best from God and we want the best out of life, we've got to start walking in our best. And that requires work. That requires discipline. That requires loving ourselves. Because guess what? If you don't love yourself, nobody else is going to love you. Or they're not going to love you the way that they're supposed to. So just hold on to hope. I'm not giving up hope. I'm going to be like Jesse Jackson. Keep hope alive. I'm keeping hope alive. Yes, I am. Because God said it. He told me already. He told me. I believe him. I'm just going to keep walking and operating in my 15 stature. And the king is coming. Boaz is coming. Walk in your stature. Walk in your promises for God. And Ruth is coming. Your queen is coming. So hold on to hope. And for those of y'all who have given up on love, give love a try. Give it a try. Godly love, God ordained, God inspired love is it will change minds, change lives, and open up for a new life and a new world. So y'all hold on to hope with me. Let's encourage each other. Let's be hopefully expectant of God doing what he said he's going to do. And if you have done your work and you're doing your work and you're walking in that walk and you're doing what you're supposed to do, as God has directed you to do, he will show up. She will show up. God will show up and show out for you. And the world will look and be like, wow, I'm going to wait on God because he does it better than me. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So that is it. That is all, y'all. That was the thinking of Kim. That's how my mind works, y'all. Nevertheless, I just wanted to, come on here and share my thoughts. And if you have not watched the movie, go watch it, Ruth and Boaz. It is inspiring. It is inspiring to let you know that, you might not be perfect. You might not be, everybody has stuff, but if you find the right person to love you, you're going to love them through your stuff, their stuff. They're going to love you through your stuff. And y'all are going to, when God is at the center, you're going to be all right. So check it out and keep hope alive, y'all. Keep hope alive because love is a beautiful thing. And if you're radiating love and you are love, will then attract back what you are. That's it. That's all, y'all. So I pray that the rest of your evening is richly blessed. I pray that when you lay down tonight that your sleep will be peaceful and restful and sweet, and that you will have divine dreams, and that the hand of God will rest upon you all night long, and that the angels will encamp all around you and your home and keeping everybody in it safe from any hurt, harm, or danger, and that when you awaken tomorrow that you will be refreshed, revived, renewed, and ready to run on to see what your Friday will be. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Have you some woosah wind down time. And if you haven't checked out the movie, check it out. But do something good for yourself. And if nothing else, just rest. Be ready to run on to your Friday and see what God has in store for you. So, that's it, y'all. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Peace that surpasses all understanding. Peace that guards your heart, your mind, your soul, and everything about you in Christ Jesus. That's an embellishment, y'all. That ain't, it's a couple scriptures meshed up into one, but I like it because it makes my spirit feel good. And may the love of God cover you from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. And may he bless you and pour out everything that you need and some of the things you want, and give you the strength and the courage to walk in his will and to open your heart to real God-inspired, God-ordained love. Because love is everything. That's it. That's all, y'all. Peace and blessings from my heart to yours. I love you. I love you. I love you. Rest well. Don't forget me in the AM. All right. See you.